Hey everybody, it's a beautiful Saturday morning here at the farm. My littlest helpers are off in the food forest making a fairy fort, or who knows, being creative, being kids, getting muddy. There's plenty of mud here today. My biggest helpers are down in the bottom part of the forest clearing another campsite. We've been booked up and we're getting booked up, so we thought we would open up another campsite, put this one out in the front woods in amongst the rocks, which I love so much, moss covered rocks. So hopefully I'll get to set that up and take some pictures for you soon. But today I am Broadforking where the chamomile is going to go. We had a huge windstorm last night, blew up some of the silage tarps and also the row cover for the garlic, which is behind me. So my littlest helpers earned lunch by putting that back down and pounding the staples in, which meant I didn't have to get down on the ground. But I am taking advantage of the fact that the silage tarp was up where the chamomile is going to go, and I figured I would broad fork here, turn up some of the soil, so I'll show you. It's pretty much starting to decompose all those really rough weeds that we had. This is right in the corner of the market garden, so there's the salt block for our deer friends to give them some minerals and vitamins and stuff in the winter. So that's outside the fence, and we're just inside the fence in a corner, too tight for the tractor. So a good spot to put a perennial, something that's going to stick around. So I'm going to put chamomile here. I love to use chamomile in tea, and put it in the lotion bars too. It's really good. So you'll get to see what the broad forking looks like, and learn a little bit more about what we're doing here. Alright, so here's just another example. This area looked a lot like those weeds back there when I put down the tarp in the fall. So these aren't super fancy tarps. These are pretty cheap tarps from Ollie's. You know, they're not your really super thick like industrial tarps. They're just, you know, regular with the landscape fabric staples, which we bought in a huge box of like 200 or something, and they last. So this soil did this naturally because it was under the tarp all winter. No sunshine, very little water unless it's seeping in along the edge, and everything starts to break down, so it's nice and loose, you could see. And that'll be really, really beautiful to rake in some wildflower seeds in a week or so. So broad forking, till, no till, I don't know. It works for us. It doesn't need any equipment or machinery besides our lovely meadow creature here. Made in the US, good quality stuff. We purchased it ourselves. It wasn't given to us, but I like it that much that I will tell you who made it. Broad forking does open up the soil, so purists would tell you that it is not a no-till method. We felt very strongly about the no-till method, but as we started to learn more, as we started to farm more, we realized that people, for the most part, that are doing the no-till method are bringing their soil in from somewhere else. So if you have a field, you're putting down either cardboard or you know, something else to block the water, and you're adding soil and amendments on top. So that soil came from somewhere else. It's been trucked there to your property, and it got tilled up from somewhere else. it got dug up, it got exposed to the air, it got dried out. So if you're bringing in other soil just because you didn't till up your land, I feel like then you can't even call that no-till. So instead of trying to like fit within the confines of the term, we've just decided to do what we think is best for our soil, for what we're doing and our purposes. And for us, that does mean a certain amount of tilling. We're breaking ground that hasn't been farmed in, as far as we know, at least 50 years, and probably was only hay fields and chicken fields. So just based upon research that we've done, this property was probably never farmed for corn or vegetables or anything like that. It's just too rocky. There's about 9 feet of soil before you hit bedrock. So it's not going to grow great carrots, but we could do raised beds with carrots. And that's just what we think. Otherwise the soil is great. It's really healthy. It's got a lot of good stuff in it. A lot of the areas of the market garden we moved the meat chickens around in. So, those areas are beautiful. But that's just what we're doing. I don't know what to call it. It's not no-till, it's not till, it's somewhere in between. It's the Stony Rose Farms method, I guess. But so, you can see what we're doing, and don't feel like you have to fit yourself into a label or a hashtag, do what works for your land, because what works on this side of the valley isn't going to necessarily work for our friends that are farming the other side of the valley, because they have vastly different soil. So do what works for you guys. Do what makes you enjoy the process. Don't feel that you have to do the most challenging method and then not enjoy it, because that doesn't make any sense to me. So that's my thoughts on that, in case you were wondering. And have a great day, everybody. Bye.